Do you ever feel like you have no idea what you're doing, where you're going, or who you're becoming, and you just feel completely lost? Well, then this podcast is for you. The first thing I want to tell you guys is that you are not behind. Remind yourself you are not behind. You are just on your own timeline. Now, with social media, I'm sure you can see so many people that are being so successful. There's even like self-made millionaires that are 18 years old and famous. That is not normal. That is very, very unique. So, those are people that you are comparing yourself with, which is just not the ordinary person. A lot of that could be luck, a lot of it could be hard work, maybe a little mix of both. But you have to remind yourself that you are on your own timeline. No one else's, you are on your own. And that is all that matters when you are on this journey through what we call life. So remind yourself, don't compare yourself to other people's best moments. I mean, you'll see on social media so many highlight reels of people on their trips, on when they're on camera and they're looking and feeling the absolute best. But you're not seeing all the times where they're sad, where they're going through something, where they don't feel like they are 100% themselves. And for me, I do this podcast, but I like keeping it real with you guys. Not every time am I doing this podcast am I feeling 1,000,000%. And that is perfectly okay. I can put out the content whether I'm feeling amazing or whether I'm feeling horrible. But you guys wouldn't know. So just remember that you are on your own timeline, and that is what matters. Second thing, guys, most people don't actually know what they're doing either. So realize that. Realize that we're all just figuring out life as it goes. And that is very stress relieving, knowing that every person in the world is still figuring it out as they go. Some are probably more advanced than others because of life experiences or age, or maybe they had really good mentors. But whatever the case is, we are all, no matter if you're a baby to you being an adult, you are still figuring out life. You are still learning new things every day. So just remember that. It's stress relieving to know everyone's still going through life trying to figure out its day-to-day challenges and learning new things. And that right there is what you need to remember so you don't stress yourself out all the time. Third thing I want to mention is progress does not always feel like progress. Whether that's some weeks you wake up and you just feel absolutely amazing, you're productive, you are feeling like a positive light, you are crushing your exams, you are crushing it at work. That's great. But then one week, your workouts are just not going to hit the same. You're not going to be sleeping the same. Something might happen in your relationship with your girlfriend or your friends, and you are then going to be very confused. Like, why did I feel so great last week, but then this week I don't feel great? So you just have to keep in mind that progress, it's not always linear. It's not always going to feel like progress. And that right there is very important to remember so that you do not fall into this rabbit hole of thinking that you always have to be productive and that you always have to feel 1,000,000%, like $1,000,000 to do whatever needs to be done for that day. Another point, you don't need a perfect plan right now. You need a rough plan though. So whatever it is in your career, in your relationships, in your faith, make a rough plan of how you want it to go. What industries are you interested in? What type of career paths are you interested in? What kind of jobs? What's like your ideal version of yourself that you want to become? Who are the friends you want to be surrounding yourself with? Just ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself those little questions and think about it. Who do I want to become a year from now? Who do I want to become 6 months from now? And then if you really want to dive deeper into it, who do I want to become 5 years from now? And you don't need a perfect plan. It doesn't need to be so stressful, like, oh my gosh, I have to write down this perfect plan and structure it and make sure that I follow it to the T. I think that's just baloney. Just have a rough plan of where you want your life to go and just take action every day. Next point, you have a lot more control than you think. A lot of what stresses out all of us is the fact that we can't control everything. But when you start realizing that you can control the time you go to bed, you can control the foods you put in your body, you can control whether or not you go on your phone for 2 hours to 5 hours every day. You can control, should I spend this 30 minutes reading a book, or maybe should I spend this 30 minutes just walking outside with either a podcast or music or whatever makes me feel good. Little things like that you can control, and you can literally schedule it into your day so that you feel so much better when the day ends. So remember that. Control the controllables and just forget about the uncontrollables, because those, at the end of the day, they're going to be uncontrollable no matter what. So just remember that, and that will help you get through the days so much easier. The next point is that it's okay to feel lost sometimes. I know you guys see me on camera and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy has his shit together all the time. He's just on it. He's doing great. No. And any person online that posts, or anyone that you think is very, very successful in your eyes or you look up to, they feel lost sometimes and they don't know where they're going sometimes. And that's okay to admit that. If you can't admit that, then I think you're just lying. Simple as that. Not everyone knows exactly what they're doing every single day. Even when you plan out your days exactly as you want them to go, things get in the way. Randomly, one day you'll wake up and just feel like absolute dog crap, and you are just going to have to get through that day as best as you can. And you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel confused, broken, so many different emotions. But that's part of life. Those days make the great days so much more fulfilling. And the last point I want to make here is that the small steps that you take today determine what your future will look like. So yes, life is hard. There's going to be days where you feel like absolute crap, and you might not know what the next step is to take. But no matter what, you have to take at least one step forward. Whether that's as simple as waking up 5 minutes earlier than you usually do. Maybe that's making your bed every morning and sticking to it. Maybe that's, let me just eat 200 calories less. Let me not drink that soda today. Let me not have that beer today. Let me go on a walk for 10 minutes today. Little moments like that are so small, but if you can make consistent, tiny habits over time that are good, productive habits, you will thank yourself later in the future when you become an entirely different person than you are right now. And with that, again, remember, guys, you are not behind. You are just on your own timeline. Most people don't actually know what they're doing, so take pride in that. Progress, it's not always linear. It's not always going to feel like progress. You don't need a perfect plan right now, just need a rough plan and then go and take action. You have a lot more control than you think. Control the controllables and forget about the uncontrollables. Just get through the day as best as you can. It's okay to feel lost sometimes. That is part of life. We're all still figuring it out. And then my last point is that the small steps you take today will decide your future. So let's get after it today. If you're feeling lost, I hope that this helped you reframe your mindset and feel a little better, a little more energized for your day tomorrow. And I cannot wait for the next podcast. So I'll see you all there.